belonged to them. How many of you know this? We were the jewel in the crown. Thank you. Were we poor? How come we became poor? How come we have 350 million people who have no food to eat? They are called below poverty line. What an insult to humanity. Below poverty line. And below poverty line of ours is below the $2 per day line globally accepted. What an insult to human dignity. Do you feel about it? Do you feel angry? Do you at least feel involved? Do you feel it's your nation? Suppose you had a plot of land and there was an encroachment on that land. Do you fight? Or do you say, what can I do? Koi sunta nahi hai hamari baat. Or do you go and fight? And here's your entire land. This thing is giving up, huh? Can you hear me? Yeah. Which is being taken away. I tell you, I don't know how many of you travel around India. There's a Russian mafia in Goa, there's problem in Jammu and Kashmir, there's problem in Arunachal Pradesh. We are surrounded by failed states. All of us can change this, and I'm going to share with you how. All of us put together, very finely worded, together as one we can right every wrong. Indeed, we can. Jerry, I'll ask you questions at the end. Huh? What I said, and you won't be able to answer. Okay. He's higher than all of us, you see. 6'4", so he listens to everything. Together we can. And here is the secret, ladies and gentlemen. The solution is not at one level. The solution is at various levels. And each one of us, depending upon our enthusiasm, our willingness, our situation, our conditions, has to get involved to that extent, to our personal extent. Individually, I promise you, we are all leaders. Each one of us has a circle of influence. You may not be a leader of millions, you may be, but you may be a leader of millions, you may be a leader of 10, but you are a leader nevertheless. Because you have the ability to influence opinion. At every level, work needs to be done. If somebody feeds, like Jerry said to me a few minutes ago, somebody feeds a hungry man on the road, you have done your duty of a fantastic citizen. If somebody is able to look after the sightless, you have done your duty as a fantastic citizen. And all these will inch towards creating a fantastic nation called India. Unlike today, where if you travel with the Indian passport, you are always looked down upon. It's a very sad thing, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, all our problems are man-made. They do not have to be there. All our problems. We have such tremendous education. We have such tremendous proficiency. We have such tremendous caliber. We export our managers all over the world to run businesses all over the world. And still we can't manage our own affairs. It is because we have not got involved. It is because we felt that there is no need to get involved. Today that need has presented itself, and that is why you and I are sitting in this room discussing this subject. Today that need has presented itself at any level of participation. Basically all our problems have two levels. While there are many levels, but you can compress these many levels into two levels. It is so simple, ladies and gentlemen. The first level is the operating level. Madhu Koda has run away, allegedly run away with 4,500 crores. At the operating level, you want to catch him and you want to bring the money back. Okay? At the systemic level, you've got to change the system so that this does not happen again. And therefore, you've got to bring systemic change that puts checks and balances into the system, which not only prevents it from happening, but actually gives out alarms if somebody tries to make this happen. These are the two levels. Broadly speaking, these are the two levels. Mr. Karthikeyan, having been in the government, would perhaps agree with me. These are the two levels. NGOs normally are at the operating level. Do good, instant good, which is fantastic, which is very nice. Some of us have got to roll up our sleeves and say we will make systemic change. Systemic change can only come through Jerry's words, good governance. Jerry's words, good governance. How do you get good governance? In a democracy? From the government. Who runs the government? The political system. And therefore your involvement in the political system is absolutely crucial, especially today, 60 years after this has started happening. It is crucial today that you participate in the political system fearlessly. Encourage everybody around you. You know, in India we have said politics is dirty, politicians are dirty, everything is dirty, and so saying you have alienated yourself so much that you have no influence. Today you are presented with 4 candidates, the smuggler, the robber, the thief and the pickpocket, and you are asked to select. And you don't go to vote, then they say it's voter apathy. This is not true. I think you must make sure that you participate in the political process and ensure that the right candidates are presented to you. Start from the top if necessary. Start from the parliament. And participate and identify candidates if necessary. Stand yourselves. If people like you are sitting in parliament, this country will be transformed in less than 5 years. You in your worst moment of corruption will not be a millionth as corrupt as the current crop. Because you will be asked, where is the guarantee that you will not be corrupt? You will never be a million, you will not be even a millionth as corrupt. I am promising. I can look at it and say this. Let's make it happen. My ladies and gentlemen, at the one plane, at the NGO plane, we are doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately, NGO model is personality driven and therefore it's difficult to scale it up. You need a scalable model where people are able to scale up. If you participate in the political process, you can impact much more. Today the equation is skewed. Do-gooders are very few. 90,000 NGOs? How many NGOs in it?
1.7 million.
1.7 million NGOs?
Not do-gooders. Around 2% of the
See, cynicism even among NGOs. Come on, time to change, time to act. Cynicism is a dangerous thing. It has to be, the antidote to cynicism is positive thinking and positive action. If positive action comes, then only cynicism will go. This is one cynicism. And if Jerry is cynic, who is the God's best creation, imagine what must be happening to the rest of the country, how cynical they must be. Many people say that change is impossible, time has gone. Don't believe them. Act now. Act at your level, be a leader, influence 10 people. At the local level, at the ground level, and at the systemic level. Systemic level, ladies and gentlemen, is crucial. Please do not restrict yourself to the ground level. The example I gave, something has to be done on the ground. If a person is hungry, feed him. At the same time, teach him how to fish. If you give a hungry person a fish, he eats for that day. If you teach him how to fish, he doesn't remain hungry for the rest of his life. This is the point I am making. Therefore, please expand your horizons. Think at both the levels. One, instant operating level, which is the NGO level, which is wonderful, which is very kind. All of you will go to heaven, I tell you. In time. But please look at the other level as well, where we want to impact the system.